Hey Arnold is a show from Nickelodeon during the mid to late 90s. I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you have a somewhat decent understanding of the show Hey Arnold. Pretty much is about a 4th grade boy who solves his friend's problems, and that's about it. This is Recess. Recess is pretty much Toon Disney's version of Hey Arnold, except this focuses mainly on the recess period of a day. And it's very similar to Hey Arnold, but they don't solve as many problems. It's more of just encountering events that happen during recess. Eugene is kind of the clumsiest character in Hey Arnold. He is called the Jinx, and many episodes focus on him getting into situations that he really can't get out of. They're really unlucky, and most of the characters in the show do not like Eugene just due to the fact that he's unlucky. He has several funny episodes, but my favorite episode of Eugene has to deal with the Advocator, or whatever it's called, and his little childhood hero. And it's very funny because it doesn't focus on Eugene as a Jinx, more as of a character, like a personal flaw. Gus Griswold, the newest member of Recess, due to the fact that in the first episode he moves there. He is kind of like Eugene, except he's not as a Jinx. He's just, bad things seem to happen to him sometimes, but his friends don't avoid him because of it. He is kind of a likable character because he's kind of just small and dainty, and it's really, his parents are completely different than what you would expect. His dad, I believe, is like an army sergeant or something. So Gus Griswold has kind of likable characteristics that are far superior to Eugene. That being said, the best character that wins is Gus. Gus is just a lot more likable, and he's easier to relate to. I mean, I don't know anyone who's a Jinx per se, but Gus is kind of like an average kind of person. Someone who doesn't have a lot of confidence and needs his friend's support to get through tough times. So the winner here of round 1 is Recess. Mikey Blumberg is kind of the big softy of the Recess group. He really doesn't like violence, he likes peace, and he likes to sing a lot. Mikey really isn't the standout character. I mean, he's somewhat funny because he's big and he likes to eat. I mean, stereotypical big guy, but you don't get big by petting kittens. So Mikey is a fun character to watch, but then again, yet forgettable. The exact opposite of Mikey is Harold. Harold is the big guy who likes to eat a lot as well, but mainly through the first few seasons of Hey Arnold, he is more of an antagonist to Arnold. He really isn't his friend. In later episodes, he becomes his friend, and we learn a lot about Harold. And Harold is flawed, and Harold makes the wrong decisions, and he's very human, therefore very relatable. He also has very funny scenes that literally will make you laugh out loud. Therefore, the winner is Harold. Yes, Harold. This really wasn't one of the toughest choices that come in this little video, but Harold wins easily because he just is a relatable character and he's fun to watch. Mikey hardly makes you laugh and you really aren't interested in. Harold has several episodes where I would literally laughing out loud. And the fact that he's Jewish and the show makes that very obvious that he's Jewish and he has to go through Jewish traditions is just hilarious. Harry Arnold wins round 2. For those who watch Recess, they know Spinelli's kind of like the tough one of the group. Yes, she is a girl, but doesn't mean she's not any tough. She is very dominant and likes to do boy things and kind of, like a tomboy pretty much. She has a very dominant personality and she stands out in the group. She doesn't get left out. And there were several episodes that focus on her and her relationships with other people that are very interesting but not very memorable. Helga is probably more important to the show of Hey Arnold. She is somewhat of an antagonist, but then as a second protagonist. She has a fascination with the main character Arnold, therefore she is the focus of many episodes. She has the second most episodes only to Arnold. Now Helga is kind of likable but kind of not, because she acts like a tough beat-her-up kind of girl, but really she has feelings for Arnold, and throughout this show, you get to see more and more of her complex character. This was a tough choice, but in all honesty, I really do think Helga is just a more interesting character. The show focuses more on Helga than it does Spinelli, so therefore Helga kind of wins by default just because we know more about her, her family, and her inner turmoil. Spinelli, we really don't know that much, considering she's not really the main character. Then again, neither is Helga. She is just focused on a lot more. I'm probably going to get pissed a lot of people off because of this following comparison, but it needs to be done. We're going to compare the black guys. Alright, now we got Gerald from Hey Arnold. Gerald is Arnold's best friend. Gerald is a kind of complex character considering that he has many episodes where it focuses on his home life, such as his brother, his sister, and just his mom and dad. Gerald is a likable character, but he doesn't stand out from the rest. He just blends in, but he is Arnold's best friend, and many episodes focus on him. Now, I have to compare him to Vince because they're both black. I'm sorry, but it has to be done. They're both the main character's friends. Now, Vince is really good at sports, and he really is good friends with TJ. Even though the Recess Gang is all friends, Vince is probably his best friend of that group. Like, in all honesty, Vince is probably his best friend. Vince is like the black stereotype. He's really good at sports. He can run really fast. He can play basketball. But he's a very likable character. And there are a few episodes that focus on his ability to be overconfident and cocky. And I really enjoy that, considering that it's very realistic and relatable. Now, probably people are going to disagree with me with this one, but I have to say Gerald is the winner. Just because Gerald he's like a good friend, and he's, it's a very tough call, because Vince stands out too, but Gerald is the best friend. Vince is the best friend, but it's not as clear. There are many episodes where Gerald and Arnold get into situations, but there are only a couple episodes where Vince and TJ get into some situations. This is a very tough call, and probably a lot of people disagree, but it is what it is. Now, I'm going to talk about some character that isn't as important. I'm going to talk about Big Patty. Big Patty is kind of like the big girl villain that likes to eat a lot, and she's really misunderstood, and she just wants to be friends, and that she's really nice once you get to know her, but she has a tough exterior because she's not very comfortable with herself, and she's really not as bad as she is, but she's considered a bully by many others. And she is a memorable character because of the episode she has of Harold, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this is where it kind of gets kind of lazy. Curse the Worst is exactly like Big Patty. I mean, literally exactly like her. Just big, misunderstood. And there is an episode where Mikey becomes friends of Curse the Worst that is very similar to the episode where Harold becomes friends of Big Patty. Although there are some different details, it's like the same thing, and it's kind of noticeable, but Curse is a very forgettable character. She doesn't really stand out, and she's not really one of the main antagonists. Winner is Big Patty, just because I don't exactly know who came first or whatever, but Big Patty's more memorable, and I just remember Big Patty and her episodes being a little bit more interesting than any episodes of Curse the Worst. Curse, I only think she only has like 1 or 2 episodes, but Big Patty actually has a few, and she actually has a complex, well, not really complex, but more of a character to her. Therefore, she's more enjoyable to watch. Next, we're going to talk about the Brainiacs of the group. Phoebe is the little Asian smart group person of the group. She is really good in every class, and she's known as the super smart one. There are a few episodes of her that really focus on how her character is, such as always having to do something like perfect, and there are quite a few episodes that focus on her not being as perfect. My personal favorite episode with her has to do with the singer. I can't remember. I think it's called Preteen Scream, I believe. And it's really funny because it has nothing to do with Phoebe being a brainiac. It's more of her just finding out her idol is not who he says he is. Gretchen is pretty similar to Phoebe, except she's not Asian. And Gretchen is probably the most forgettable character of the Recess Gang. Not because she's a girl. She just she's just smart, and most of her episodes are not very interesting, and it mostly happens with her learning that she can make an heir. Her and Phoebe are very similar, but Phoebe is a little more interesting, and her episodes focus on more than just her brains. So Gretchen really isn't that interesting. So, yeah, nobody really cared about those two, so the winner is Charizard! Yay! Now, for the main event! Arnold versus TJ! Now, the show's called Hey Arnold, therefore the main character is... Arnold. Arnold is pretty much like goody two-shoes, as in he always tries helping everyone out. Every episode he solves a problem or tries doing a good thing, which I guess is a good thing, because people come to him for helping them with their problems, and he usually helps them out. There's a lot of good episodes of Arnold in it. Like, obviously, they all have Arnold in it, but like the ones that focus on him. And Arnold is a pretty interesting character. He's somewhat relatable, but he seems too good to be true at times, and that's kind of like he's hard to take seriously. TJ is the main character of Recess. Now, I know many of you are thinking, no, he's not. There's, what, 5 main characters? 6 main characters. 6 main characters of Recess. TJ's not the main character. Yes, he is. He is the main character of Recess. Now, TJ is kind of... He's a lot more relatable than Arnold, because TJ is flawed. He does things that he shouldn't do, he gets in trouble, and he learns from his lessons. Arnold does, but Arnold is a little too good, he's too good. And he's just, TJ, he's kind of more self-serving. He wants to help his friends, but he isn't going out of his way to help problems. Sure, he does in a few episodes, he tries to solve problems, but he doesn't go over the top like Arnold. Therefore, he's more relatable. He's kind of somewhat anti-Arnold, but then the same thing as him. So it's really close. My personal opinion is Recess is the superior show, just because the characters are... It's really hard to explain, just because it's just more interesting to watch. Every episode is somewhat different, and Hey Arnold, there's like the same characters go through the same problems, just a different situation. Recess, like almost every episode, is a completely different thing. There are so many similarities between these shows, it's ridiculous. Like, both main characters wear a hat. Their little gang are very similar. Similar traits, that is. They both are in 4th grade and go to school, obviously. Recess is just, if I had to pick one show that I can have a DVD of all the shows, I would pick Recess, just because more episodes are more rememberable of Recess than Hey Arnold. A lot of Hey Arnold episodes just blend in all together and just like they're very forgettable. But Recess, I feel, is just a better show. And also, when we're comparing the movies, Recess is School's Out or whatever is just a far superior movie compared to Hey Arnold the movie. Just a far superior movie. So therefore, Recess wins. You can disagree or agree or tell me I'm retarded. I don't really care. Thank you for watching.